welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast, episode 227. Please tell me that someone out there in our listener land remembers that TV show from the 80s in America. Probably not, but that's okay. I'm your co-host, Kiley Wilde, and I'm joined by my ever-present co-host, Beckett.
I heard only the surname there. That's fine. Hello.
I'll just call you Beckett from now on. Bends it like Beckett.
Because I haven't heard that for many, many years since that bloody movie came out. Yeah.
Yeah, it even made it in America.
Yeah.
But I didn't know who Beckham was back then.
I wish I didn't.
I was gonna say I probably really only know it because of Deadpool, but it's neither here nor there. I was gonna say something. Every week, I ask our guest how they're doing, but we do not have guests tonight. Instead, I will ask Pete how his week been. What has he been playing? And I'm trying to ignore chat, but we all know that I cannot ignore chat. So Pete, how's your week been? What have you been playing?
Well, chat is just going to refer to me as Beckett, so you know.
I like it.
No, don't, because that was my brother just being known as that for years. So yeah, cool. No, I am not my brother. My week has been relatively okay.
What happened to you this week?
Why do you have to keep bringing this bloody up? It's almost like I
Every
might
year.
want to forget. I got a damn year older.
I know. I bring it up every year. Pete's birthday was on Friday.
Thanks.
Happy birthday, Pete.
Blech. It was gross. It was a nice day, to be fair, so I wasn't
That's
working,
good.
which was good.
Oh, that's good. That's
because I
very
worked the
good.
weekend before. I had a few days off, so I've been relatively busy. Playing golf. Watched Captain America. I can't talk about that right now.
Right, because it's going to be on the show?
Yeah.
Your other show?
The Never Watchers. Shameless plug. Yeah, we'll be covering that soon enough, I guess. And then went out for a few drinks with a few mates. But yeah, other than that, it's been alright. It's been good. It's been good. So terms of the games I've been playing, because I've managed to get some time in on Friday, and I got about 3 hours of it in, which was good. I've been playing more of Batman Arkham Knight. So
Not surprised.
no, well, I thought I'd pick it back up again, and I seem to be getting more hooked into the game. Really, really like the game, actually. Story-wise, it is really, really good to some degree. I think the Joker stuff is a little bit tacked on. They should have left it alone. He died at the end of Arkham City. They shouldn't have had him involved. I do like the angle, the fact that Bruce is infected with his blood. I get it. But the constant toing and froing between the two of them is something that really shouldn't be there.
I like what Denker said.
You heard it here.
Just saying.
He got it in. I did.
Like Beckham. Anyway.
Ugh. Yeah, so roughly, if you know the game, and Danker, I know you know the game because I've seen that
Yes.
you're on my friends list as having quite a lot of done on that game. I'm finally... So I'm up to the bit... I've done the Harley stuff at the movie studio.
Yep.
And I'm just moving forward with trying to find out who the Arkham Knight is. Spoiler alert, I already know who the Arkham Knight is.
It's, you know.
No, I'm not
It's not-
saying it for anyone who wants to play
Okay.
it, but I'm
Glad
basically
it's
up to
secret.
that point in the game where I'm hot on the trail, basically of
Yeah.
trying to find the recordings and suppress the recording, you know, to triangulate its position and stuff like that. But I'm still not liking all the Batmobile stuff. It's really quite dull, and there's
yeah.
far too much like combat heavy sections with the Batmobile. And
Yeah.
anytime I've like traversing around the city in the Batmobile is absolutely fine. I just don't tend to do it very frequently because I think the gliding and mobility options with Batman are actually really more enjoyable. They're the best that they have been throughout the series because you've got more of a playground to play with. Graphically, it's an insane looking game. Like for a 2015 game, it still looks incredible. and
agree with that.
the fact that it's running properly on PC when it came out like a dire mess the first time was quite good. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think I'm probably about 8, maybe 9 hours in, so probably only got about another 4 to go, probably, of the main campaign. Then I'll start doing some side stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, really, really
like
enjoy the
side
game,
stuff.
and it's probably, I would say, gameplay-wise, a very fitting end to the Arkham series. Well, until the VR ones came out, but I don't intend to play them. Can't do VR. And will never touch Suicide Squad again, because that game's an abomination.
That I secretly have a fondness for, but it is. I also can't deny that it is.
Frickin' abomination. The only other game that I have been playing, I picked up a little bit more of it, is playing Lonely Riders Snow Mountain, or whatever it's called, I can't remember. Yeah, I've done a couple more challenges on it. Very, very challenging sections of the game, because I'm up to the 3rd lot of levels on the Blue Slopes. So now, finally did that after numerous attempts of the final one. On to the 4th section, and my god, are they hard. They are real hard. That's what she said.
That is what she did indeed say.
Yeah.
Also, Chad is cracking me up.
Yes. But yeah.
And also, hello, Steven.
Hello. But yeah, other than that, not really done anything else in terms of games. So, yeah. Kiley, week, good. Games.
It's a week.
You played.
It happens. I played games. I played lots of games. I didn't actually play that many games. I played my usuals,
you didn't.
Of course. I played Doom, of course. Still love Doom
God damn it, why didn't you tell me that beforehand? So I could note it down so I didn't hear clicky clacking of the keyboard.
I don't know, because I thought I did.
You're a Dumas.
I didn't. Yes, I am Dumas. I love Doom Eternal. We know this. I mean, you can freaking see it on my face when I'm playing it. What? No. Oh, hello, Apollo. Oh, no, I just have a visitor. But I'm... Aw, he's happy to see me.
Yes.
Puppy break. Yes, what was I saying? Oh, the traversal. I still suck at traversal. I'm always gonna suck at traversal. And, but I still love it. I absolutely love it. And I cannot wait for Dark Ages again, because I want to see how they've streamlined it and stuff. And then, of course, we played some more Miside on Wednesday, which is the, yes, exactly. Taker says, and at that pacing, it will be eternal. Yes, it will. Aw, Steven says, welcome, doggy. So Miside is very, very interesting. I like the concept behind it. It actually scares me. Now, it's very, very difficult to scare me in games. It has to be psychological horror, nothing else. Gore doesn't do it. Cheap jump scares don't do it, because you can predict those, you know. And as much as I love Alan Wake 2, I really do, but the jump scares in Alan Wake 2 are kind of telegraphed, and I could kind of predict them. But I actually enjoy the game itself. So it is very rare for me to be scared by anything. Scared on this one. Didn't have that my chat, and I mean this in the best way because I love it and it cracks me up. Did scary sounds behind my head while I was playing. But I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, I had a very visceral sort of reaction when I was playing Condemned Criminal Origins years ago with surround sound on. Very similar experience. It was great.
I am thinking, hello, Mike Tendo.
Hello.
Best friend of the show. But I then on Friday I played Resident Evil 7 DLC. It's the Chris Redfield DLC, and no, I can't remember it. I don't remember names of things. I usually
I don't remember what it was called either.
He doesn't even look like Chris Redfield, so whatever.
Does he punch any boulders in it?
He doesn't punch any boulders.
Well, that's his automatic 0 out of 10 then.
He's basically being Master Chief, if I'm honest. I mean, they've got the HUD on. He's got a lady in his ear. Well, should probably get out of his ear. But I mean, talking in his ear, talking in his head. And, oh, Apollo, you're all twisted up. But to be fair, it looks good and it plays good. I, of course, am not good at puzzles, and so I get kind of stuck.
Mm.
Oh no! You know what happened? The game crashed. It fatally crashed.
Amazing.
Not just normal crash.
Yeah, Brent
Something
is
like
correct.
that, Brent.
It's called
Yeah.
Not a Hero. I just searched it up.
That. And it's good. It, like I said, graphically, it looks great. It plays great. It just crashed. So we'll try again. And then I just loaded Doom because it's Doom, and why not? I love Doom. Absolutely.
Doom.
So that was my week, Pete.
Nice.
That rhymes. That was my week, Pete. So
Wow, we got through that section in 10 minutes.
I know, right? And I probably should slow down on this.
Do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Do it. Use your hate. Use your anger. Oh crap! I'm just gonna quote the whole movie. Anyway, I'm gonna throw this back over to you. What have you got in store for us this week?
Anyone hadn't guessed? News. Because
wow,
news.
What? This is a news show. I can't believe it.
It's a little bit of a different news show because
okay.
we'll cover it in a bit, but we've got a couple of other news stories, and then we'll go through probably what was the biggest thing of the week. So we're going to start off with the first story that was actually sent to us via X or Twitter because of follower of the show, Danka, who's in the chat right now. Thank you very much. This one in particular, yes, and Brent has now called it, is layoffs as usual. Layoffs as usual. In fact, we might as well just start saying it. The layoffs as usual.
And that should probably be the name of the show. I know that turns people off.
No, because there was something bigger that happened this week that we probably should use for SEO reasons.
Well.
So,
that's
anyway.
What she said.
Right, so, layoffs have happened again,
Yeah.
and this one is quite a notable one again, unfortunately. So, do you happen to remember a certain company that may have got involved in a certain very well-known graphics card melting series from years ago? That was always the thing, is if you can play Crysis, you can on PC, then yeah, your PC is good enough. Anyway, the creators and the studio behind them, Crytek, have announced that Crysis 4 is on hold, as it plans to lay off 15% of its staff, around 60 people, to stay, quote, financially stable.
Testing. Okay. I did not know that Crytek still existed. I'm going to be honest. As much as I love Crysis, I did not know Crytek still existed.
They do. I kind of forgot about it because they managed to do some endeavours a few years ago that I thought nearly financially ruined them, including buying Free Radical Design, rebranding them as Crytek UK, and then releasing the game Haze.
Again, I've said this 1,000 times. I'm going to say it 1,000 more. The concept behind Haze is amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
One of my favorite narrative ideas in a game, and a very it is. I would put it in my top 5 narrative ideas. The execution, not a pun. The execution of said game, and it was also riddled full of bugs, was awful.
Yeah, but some of that I put down to a very, very, very difficult development procedure or development time, and the fact that the PS3 was a very difficult console to program for.
It was.
So, Free Radical probably did their best that they could. Or, sorry, Crytek UK probably did the best they could. Anyway, in the chat, Mike says, fun fact, for no one in general, I am not currently in Spain this weekend.
You do not have to reveal your location. Where are you?
Reveal your location right now. I want coordinates.
But reveal it. Yes.
No, anyway.
Well, I was going to say...
yes, okay.
Pylard says, Kylie doesn't understand why I keep calling Apollo a Siberian hamster. He actually told me once, and then I drank.
Yes.
And that set of brain cells fried themselves on the alcohol.
Damn, little sister's 30th birthday today, so not so little anymore. Yay, I know that feeling this week. It's great.
Yeah, it was Pete's birthday on Friday. I remember 30. It happened only yesterday.
Mine happened only yesterday. No, not yesterday, Friday.
Yeah.
And then possibly 7 years before that. Anyway, so in a statement posted on its official Twitter account, the company said, I'm still not calling it X, it can screw off Elon Musk. The company said that the layoffs were necessary because of the current state of the industry. Quote, like so many of our peers, we aren't immune to the complex, unfavourable market dynamics that have hit our industry these past several years. It pains us greatly to share today that we must lay off an estimated 15% of our around 400 employees. The layoffs affect development teams and shared services. This has not been an easy decision to make, and we deeply appreciate the hard work of our talented teams. Christ, there is a full statement anyway. I probably should just read it in full, if I'm honest.
Also, I agree with Brent.
Yeah, agreed. He said the last birthday was 29th. Was my 29th. I will never be 30. Agreed. It's not the best way to go. Anyway, so the statement in full itself is, like so many of our peers, we aren't immune to the complex and favourable market dynamics that have hit our industry in the past few years. It pains us greatly to share that today we must lay off an estimated 15% of around 400 employees. Layoffs affect development teams and shared services. This has not been an easy decision to make, as we deeply appreciate the hard work of our talented teams. After putting the development into the next Crisis game on hold in Q3 2024, we have been trying to shift developers over to Hunt Showdown 1896. While Hunt Showdown 1896 is still growing, Crytek cannot continue as before and remain financially sustainable. Even after ongoing efforts to reduce costs and cut operating expenses, we have determined that layoffs are inevitable to move forward. Crytek will offer affected employees severance packages and career assistance services. We firmly believe in the future of Crytek with Hunt Showdown 1896. We have a very strong gaming service and remain fully committed to its operation. We will continue to expand and evolve Hunt Showdown with great content and drive our strategy for our engine, Cry Engine. So, yeah, unfortunate, another load of job losses this year, which sucks like hell. So,
Sucks.
Yeah.
Does suck.
I mean, if you have to say it's financially sustainable, if it means the long-term career, like the long-term of your business, fine. But unfortunately, I wouldn't suspect that most of these CEOs are probably taking pay cuts, which is probably what they should be doing first.
Hey, Mike, there it goes. My mic is just not wanting to cooperate. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I said all of this last week. I'm gonna repeat myself. But yeah, it's all the same. Just copy paste what I said last week and put it in here.
Well, basically copy paste every single news item that we've had basically this year when it comes to job losses, and we're pretty much just going over the same ground. So yeah, we're not going to cover this in full detail because I think it's just an ongoing situation that we'll just have to keep coming back to and just saying this is what's happened. Moving on. Not that I'm obviously immune to it, and I feel bad for all those people who have lost their job, but yeah, suckage. Exactly. Speaking of, and I'm not meaning to make light of this in a funny way. Speaking of companies that are likely to suffer job losses at some point if they carry on down this road, Ubisoft. Because Ubisoft are in the bloody news again, and I am absolutely sick as hell talking about Ubisoft. Because they suck. Anyway, if it's the unstable market, the dropping in share prices, their potential buyout, the Guillemot family are just absolutely moronic and don't know how to run a company because the CEO of Ubisoft says the publisher is focusing mainly on open world action games and live service games in the coming years.
To be fair, that is Ubisoft's strength.
But it is the same goddamn crappy formula that people have been so bored of for at least the last 5 friggin' years.
I know, but then I turn around and end up playing an Ubisoft game once a month, not realizing it's an Ubisoft game.
Yes. But actually, if they had smaller titles, look at how Prince of Persia ended up last year. Perfect
Great.
example of how to do something different. And yet they then went and got rid of like most of the developers who worked on that game because it didn't live up to their sales expectations. Because Ubisoft are frigging idiots.
They are.
Absolutely moronic. Surely you would see that share price and go, "Ooh, this is absolutely tanking. Maybe we should do something different." No, let's carry on down the same path and expect something different. Sorry, what was it, the famous quote that came from a Ubisoft game?
Say it again, because you've said it 3
Say the
times.
line, Bart.
I can't remember. I've had 2 tequilas. About to have 3.
How can, what was it? Why do people think that they can do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result?
Also,
What's the definition of insanity?
I think Samuel Beckett said that.
Yes,
That's
but
also not
it
a joke.
also came from Far Cry 3.
Yes.
Yes, so that's more of where I was going with that. I was making reference
Yeah.
to a Ubisoft title. Anyway,
But, yeah.
so during a Q&A following a presentation on the company's fiscal results for Q3 of 2024-25, one caller asked if the executives on the panel could shed more light on the development pipeline going forwards. CEO Yves Guillemot replied that the focus was mainly going to be on open world adventures like Assassin's Creed games and live service games like Rainbow Six Siege or The Crew Motorfest for the foreseeable future.
The Crew? I thought The Crew was dead.
I thought it was too.
Okay.
Anyway, quote, "We have been investing significantly for the big pipeline of products for the coming years along our 2 verticals, these being open world games and games as a service native experiences. And that's what we want to deliver year after year." So, going on to discuss games already confirmed, he added, "As you know, we are preparing a big launch for Assassin's Creed Shadow that's now been delayed 2 or 3 times at this point."
Testing. I think that was the only thing that was going to pull their asses out of the fire. And they've already effed it.
Yeah.
In the A.
Anyway, so
Not
big
in a
launch
good
of
way.
Assassin's Creed Shadows in the very short term. Next year we'll have big plans that will benefit Rainbow Six across all platforms. That's focusing well, and that's a key milestone in our growth plan for the company. Also, we've announced that the Anno 117 Pax Ramona will also come next year.
Are they the people that do Anno?
Yep. As well as the Division Resurgence on mobile.
I just love Ubisoft games.
All this is coming along well. We haven't provided more colour for fiscal year 2026, but we'll have more to share by the time of May. And as I've said, we have strong platform for the future across those 2 verticals. Well, he seems to have forgotten about Beyond Good and Evil 2, like Nana mentioned in the chat. And also the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake that's supposed to be out next year. Which doesn't fit into any of those molds.
Well,
I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it, and I don't care if anyone gets offended by this. Sue me. Ubisoft should just die already. Their IPs are fantastic, and they've let them absolutely rot for frickin' years. They are an inept as hell company who have no clue what they're doing anymore. Just kill them and let it be done. Just sell the IPs to someone else and let them actually make good games for you. Just go off. Think about what you've done in the corner like naughty boy you are, Yves Guillemot. Don't deserve to run a company, you stupid man. Stupid man.
Nana's just human. Pete, they let Rayman rot for over a decade at this point. They did.
My point. It's not just Rayman. There's been several IPs that they've just let absolutely languish for years.
Didn't they do Mario and Rabbids or whatever?
They did, but they've now basically got rid of most of that team as well.
I don't get it. How do you have a company that makes good games? Because let's face it, I have to admit it because I tend to play Ubisoft games and I didn't even realize it. A company that makes good games and then just collapses in on itself. Like what are they doing? That is so like what dudes what?
Mike's put in the chat, you be shot, they should be shot.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say no, you be shite, because that's what they are.
You be 40, Pete, in about 3 years.
Kiley, do I dare say it to you as well?
No.
Remember, I know information you don't want being told.
Yes.
So, be careful how you proceed. Anyway.
Yes.
Nana said, to be fair, I don't think they were going to do a third with Nintendo doing their own Mario RPGs again. That is true, but having the Mario and Rabbids games clearly do well as a slightly different variation on the Mario RPG sort of formula. Seemed to do okay for them. Anyway. But yeah, you be shite. Die in a hole. Anyway. Speaking of things that some people think should die in a hole, some people in the industry don't think they should, which is quite interesting. So this is going to form a bit of a debate in the comments, because it probably will do generally. So, we've all heard of Split Fiction, and It Takes Two. Goddamn, Split Fiction looks immense.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to talk to you about that after the show.
Pete and I will be playing that.
Yes.
I can stream it over on my channel.
Well, that was the plan, is I want you to take the stream for it, and I'll just turn up and play. Oh, and A Way Out as well. Sorry, I apologise, Brent. I should have mentioned A Way Out, because everyone forgets A Way Out.
I actually like... Is it No Way Out? What is it?
A Way Out.
I like that more than I like It Takes Two.
Yeah, I get the reason behind it, obviously. But
yeah.
Brother of a Tale, Two Sons as well, which they remade recently, which had nothing to do with Hazelight anyway, but that's fine. Anyway, so we all know Joseph Ferrers, the director of those games, and Mr. F the Oscars at the Game Awards. So he has come out and said that he thinks developers should work with AI rather than pushing against it, and called it both scary and very exciting.
No, not at all. But
told you this is going to divide people. Anyway, speaking to VGC, so sources for this one was VGC. Ferrers believes that said that. My God, proofread your damn articles. These are awful. Two mistakes in the first line. My God.
It's probably written by AI.
It probably was. Ferrers says that. I'm just going to read it as is, because this is appalling. Speaking to VGC, Ferrers says that believes advancements in AI could have a bigger impact on the world than the internet.
That's how I feel. Have I made it clear? You have to come see us over at twitch.tv/rapid reviews to see how I feel about this.
Okay. Quote, we need to adapt to it, he said, about the risk of AI in development. If it's part of the industry, we should see how to implement it to see how we get better games. I can understand the fact that some people could lose their jobs, but that goes for every new technology. Bad stuff and good stuff will come out of it. You can't just close your eyes. I believe AI will have a bigger impact on the world than the internet had, eventually. It's a long time until you can use it in an actual development, at least not at our place. Maybe others can do it. So AI has been a hot topic in the games industry in recent years, with concerns about generative AI leading to job losses and potential plagiarism. Take-Two's CEO Strauss Zelnick said that not only does he think AI won't lead to job losses, he believes it could lead to increased employment.
What What planet? What flippin' I am self-censoring. What flippin' planet?
Okay, and he also said that he couldn't think of any new guardrails that might be required to protect developers. Anyway, so the rest of it is just fluff talking about when Split Fiction is released, March 6th, and it will come out, and it will be good. It's also got crossplay across all platforms, which is amazing. So I don't know which way I'm going to go with it, because I want to play it online, so I want to own a physical copy of it, but I don't know. Anyway,
Of course you do.
no, I do, but I also know that I can get it cheaper on PC.
This is very true.
So I might just buy it on PC. Anyway,
but
and then wait until it goes
yes.
down in price and buy physical then. Yeah. So
I
AI in video games.
I am okay. First of all, I have drank 3 margaritas, so yay! Let's just strap on. But for people who don't
hang
know,
on. I'm in
there you
the
go.
position.
You gotta check this out on Rapid Reviews /TO. What are we on? Twitch.tv /. But who do not know, in my real actual life, I am a writer. Until I made my money. I make a lot of money by being a writer. Now, sometimes I've been a ghostwriter. What is a ghostwriter? Besides a very cool comic book by Marvel, it's actually a person who writes for someone else, but doesn't get the credit, but does get the paycheck. It's fine with me. I don't care. Pay me. I'll do whatever. Well,
within reason.
with writing. Yeah, with writing.
She's not about to turn up in Amsterdam somewhere doing some weird show, you know.
Hey, I've been to Amsterdam, man.
So have I. Pylord, possibly both. You'll have to find out on Twitch.
But yes. Yes, exactly, man. The idea. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I am going to have a rant. I have to, because this is my livelihood. Oh gosh, there go Pete taking out his earphones. But the point is, like most artists, I am absolutely horrified by the idea of AI being used for art. AI being used for science and math, okay, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. It's a glorified calculator.
Excuse me, how are you going to put all those mathematicians and scientists out of a job, but all those artists, those damn artists?
Exactly.
Pick a freaking lane. Either it's good or it's bad. No, I'm joking. There's nuance.
I was gonna say there's nuance to everything. Not everything is black and white. But when it comes to artistic, endeavors, I've read things that are written by AI, and because I do love technology. I do embrace technology, and if there is some kind of something looming on the future, on the horizon in the future, I want to take part of that. The difference between AI and a human artist, and I'm not telling anyone anything they don't know, is an AI cannot suffer pain. All art is derived from pain. Yes, even beautiful art, even happy art, even the most generic Peppa Pig episode is written from pain, because that's where art comes from. An AI cannot suffer pain. What we've said on here and what I maintain, I'm not 100% against AI. I never will be 100% against AI. AI is a tool to be used. Can it enhance my writing? Yes. Can it enhance someone's music? Yes. Can it enhance someone's art? Yes. Can it be the sole arbiter of what is art and what is not? No. There is nothing. Art is 100% encompassed by human emotion, human experience. The human experience that we all have. AI cannot replicate that. That is not a series of numbers. That is not binary code that can be input into a computer. Now, can I take my lived experience and combine it with an AI's, musical composition? Yeah, absolutely. Bringing humans and AI together, I could totally get on board with that. AI solely as a creator, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You will not be able to get. I'm trying to think of any, like, I know everyone's taste is different, so anything I say is not 100% gonna relate to everyone. But like me, when I see Van Gogh, that's how you're supposed to say his name, Van Gogh, but Van Gogh, sunflowers, Starry Starry Night. Starry Starry Night has brought me to tears. A sunset and a sunrise brings me to tears. The Godfather, one of my favorite movies of all times. Dumb and Dumber, one of my favorite movies of all times.
I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure that the Farrelly brothers are actually real at this point. I think they are AI.
They may be early experiments of AI, but those types of things are because we have a shared human experience, and that cannot be recreated in bits of code. It cannot. So Taker says, what did AI do to you? No, I love AI. I do.
No,
as a tool
and
to
actually,
be used.
Brent brings this up as well. He says there's a big debate in the board gaming sphere about AI art. Wizards of the Coast started using AI art in D&D books and Magic the Gathering cards.
That's the thing. That, and then I think the finals, I believe, is all AI.
Yeah, it was
generated. So I am not against AI at all. I just like AI to be used as a tool, not as the final. I'm gonna say it, Pete. Not as the final solution.
I'll be back in a second. Carry on.
Okay.
Carry on with your rant.
Have opposing opposing opinions. It's 100%. I think AI is useful. I'm not a person who likes to get rid of technology of any kind. In the Fallout universe, I would probably be the Brotherhood because I'm a collector of technology and stuff like that. So I'm for AI. I just don't think AI is the main writer, the main artist, the main composer. It should be a tool. The way a MIDI file is a tool. The way a freaking Microsoft Word is a tool, if that makes sense. Photoshop is a tool.
Photoshop is a tool. Spell checker is a tool.
That. Yeah, absolutely. Because
Grammarly is a tool.
Yeah,
writers use that all the time. Clearly, VGC don't seem to use it.
I hate it.
But you know what I mean. But it is a tool that can be utilised. I think this is where the unfortunate side of this article probably comes across wrong, and I don't. Thank you. You're not a tool. You're a tool for our entertainment, but that's about it.
Oh gosh.
No, I'm just. Anyway, I think this comes across quite badly from Joseph Ferris, but I can understand the meaning behind it, and I think you've hit the nail on the head. Is it should be a tool, not the leading driver. And I think the problem is that people like Strauss-Zelnick want it to be the leader. Whereas Joseph Ferris probably looks at it and goes, I want to be able to utilise some sort of AI to keep development costs down.
I was going to say, that right there, and it's a big fear of a lot of us artists, so you have to understand where I'm coming from. There is a fear that will be replaced.
Yeah, but I don't think there is, personally, if you've seen obviously AI art, there's still a lot of quirks in the system that means that it can't be the leader.
Six fingers?
Yeah, there's so many things that are wrong with it that means that it can't be the leader. In a few years, with enough programming, yes, it probably will. But the problem is everyone utilising it and constantly adding to it is only going to make it better.
Well, except on things like, I'll say Facebook, but this is probably true for any social media. There are grandmas out there. I probably shouldn't just limit it to grandmas, but there are people out there who are falling for these. Like, they'll have like a kid, like a 18-year-old, and he's crying, and he has a bread sculpture that's a horse.
Yeah.
He's like, no one loves my bread sculpture. It's so clearly AI, and all these like grandmas and Facebook parents and everything. They're like, oh. Gosh, this poor lad, no one loves his art.
Yeah, because you have to remember that they haven't grown up with this sort of thing. This is like the uncanny valley for them.
Situate that. It's so icky.
Yeah, it
I
is,
get,
but like I said,
like,
I've always
how can
maintained.
you believe that?
Yeah, I've always maintained this. It shouldn't be the leader. It should be a tool to be used, and I think we stand on the similar sort of vein on this
Yeah,
one.
no, we do.
I
we
don't.
do.
I'm not completely against the use of AI,
Yeah.
but I will not
Yeah.
utilize it myself unless absolutely required. And I haven't
Like-
utilized it for anything yet.
I've messed around. So I'm just full
Disclosure.
whatever. Thank you, disclosure. I've had three margaritas. But I've been messing around with writing lyrics for my channel trailer video because I get to make one now. And I've used AI because I am not a musician. I don't know any musicians. If I did know musicians, I probably would hire them.
You do. One of them's been on the show before.
Well, I know, but I would have to pay a lot of money.
Yeah, but that's the problem, right? Is you don't want to spend the money on getting the person to do the job.
But I'm still sticking myself inside her. But I'm still sticking myself in it. Like, I'm writing the lyrics. I'm doing.
Fine.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm using it as a tool, which is what I 100% support.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But still, I'd rather go to a real person to get someone to actually do it.
Danker, it did cross my mind to ask you. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. But anyway, like I said, I think this comes across quite badly from the headline. I don't think he's wrong, but I think there are certain people in the games industry that want to use it as a leader, and they shouldn't be using that. They should still rely on real people, real art, real expression, not generative expression.
Yeah, just if we could just see it as Photoshop.
Yeah, fine.
I'm okay with it. I can get on board with that.
There is nothing wrong with utilising the tools at your disposal for assistance.
Right. Yeah. Like, I can get on board with that. I'm okay
like,
with
if
that.
you, for example, if you get an artist to create something, for example, Nana, I go and ask him to do a piece of artwork for me. I can utilise his artwork, go and, if there is something that I might not quite like about it, not that I'm saying that I don't. Sorry, Nana, I'm just using you as an example here. My
But you
bad.
could ask the artist.
I can go and ask them. He could then, technically, if he wanted to cut down on the time, use AI to then tweak. That's all.
Now,
he probably wouldn't, because he's very much against the use of AI.
I was going to say, yes. But I have absolutely seen, and I don't think that these streamers are aware, I have seen streamers buy art for their channel thinking that they're getting an artist.
No, they're not.
They're not. It's very AI generative. But I would never tell them that because, hey, that's just not my place. Yeah, exactly. But I'm looking at it going, okay, this is 100% AI, and you've just paid a butt ton of money, and you could have done this yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just saying.
Anyway, yeah, I want it to be used a lot. I don't want it to be utilised, but with ballooning budgets when it comes to development costs, like, if you can try and save a little bit of money to try and maximise profit, fine, but still pay your artist to do the initial job. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
I agree.
Anyway.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I knew that one's going to be fiercely contested.
Yeah.
And apologies, I had to disappear for a second. I got a text from the wife saying I need to come see something.
Eh?
Yeah, so... right.
I've had 3 margaritas.
Okay, good, because I'm going to do a lot of talking now.
Okay, because I'm going to stop drinking now.
Probably a good idea.
Because would be bad. 1 tequila, 2 tequila,
all right,
2 tequila,
all right,
3
Canadian.
tequila,
This
4.
is a boot to be bad.
It's a boot to be bad.
Okay. Anyway, right, so, unless you're living on the rock, or don't seem to care about the company
Maybe
whatsoever, there was a showcase this week known as PlayStation State of Play.
Yes.
I have thoughts about it. I watched the show.
Don't care.
Well, but let's get into all the stuff that was possibly shown whilst on the showcase itself. Can't remember, well, what day was it? February 13th or the 12th. It was quite late at night. It was like 10 p.m. I was probably in bed by then because I'm old. Anyway, so there was it was about 40 minutes long, and there was a few things shown.
That's what she said.
So we are going to run through everything,
oh, no.
and we will discuss things that were shown, and we'll talk about some things that we don't really care about, maybe. Who knows? It's kind of like how it went with the developer directs. This, same thing we do with the Nintendo Directs as well. Anyway, so they kick this off with Capcom leading the charge. Because another trailer, another showing, another one for Monster Hunter Wilds. The game that is coming out on February 28th, so in probably less than 2 weeks at this point. But they keep showing trailers everywhere they go of this game, and rightly so. It's Monster Hunter. It's probably one of their biggest IPs. But my God, have I had absolutely enough of seeing Monster Hunter Wilds at this point. It's been everywhere.
Also, it's been everywhere, man. Also, Danger says it was a Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday night, but I watched it on a Thursday because I'm an idiot.
It was a Thursday.
So, anyway, kicks off with that. It's coming out February 28th. So, it was just showing a little bit more of the story trailer, more of the monsters that are coming, and also showed off some of the free updates that are coming through spring 2025, including some returning monsters. I believe returning. I don't know much. Next up, we actually had 2 games that were shown from another partner, which would be Sega.
Oh man, stupid thing. I went Sega, but my stupid microphone cut out.
Well, you did it then. So, what do you like with remembering old, and I mean old, Sega properties? And by old, I mean Master System and Genesis.
Okay, I think I can put together what you said. You did freeze on my end. I remember what we called Sega Genesis very well because I was actually a Sega gal more than I was a SNES gal.
Sure. Do you remember? It was a game that got bundled in several times with various different collections on the Mega Drive or the Genesis.
Probably. Yes.
Shinobi.
Oh, hell yeah, I remember Shinobi. Everyone remembers Shinobi.
Shinobi Art of Vengeance was announced.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
A stylish hack and slash 2D action game from a very formidable developer.
Ooh.
The creative team behind Streets of Rage 4, Lizard Cube.
Oh, okay, that's like the perfect team to do it, actually.
Oh, 100%. So they had a great combination with Sega. They are back at it again because Shinobi Art of Vengeance is coming out on PS5, PS4, Series X and S, and PC, 29th of August. And this looks incredible. I'm in.
I like that.
I'm absolutely in. There might be a running theme throughout this, by the way, but I'll see if you can get the theme of what's happening here. Next up, we had another Sega property that was shown in a bit more detail. This is Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. So the next up in the Sonic Racing series. This looks quite interesting. It's coming out on everything, including Switch and PC, PS4, PS5. But they did also announce that there is going to be a closed network test on 21st of February, so next week. So not too bad. Not too bad. Next up, we had another partner, Bandai Namco. With this was a cinematic trailer, an announcement trailer for Digimon Story Time Stranger.
No lie. I used to love Digimon.
Oh, I think a lot of people did.
Digimon, digital monsters.
I never. Look, honestly, I never really got into Digimon myself, but I honestly this didn't interest me one bit. The art style looks really nice, but Digimon is just not my thing at all. So it's due to arrive at some point during 2025. No real date.
I feel like it's past its prime. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it probably is.
But, I mean, that was the whole time of like Pokemon, Digimon. There's some other stuff at the time, and I mean, we're kind of beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I need to refresh myself with this trailer because what the hell was even this?
What, Pete?
So, yeah, I'm just looking. Sorry. Don't go away. I don't want the sound on. It's for a game called Lost Solarcide. So, Lost Solarcide tasks you with traveling both across worlds and dimensions to stop an oncoming monster threat. Okay, which is due to be released on the 30th of May on PS5 and PC. Graphically, art style wise, it looks quite interesting, but I just need to see whether or not there was actually any freaking gameplay to it, because there wasn't. There is a bit actually. Yeah, it does actually look pretty cool, to be fair.
Cool.
Yeah, there's gameplay to it. It looks like sort of a classic hack and slash, like in a 3D environment, sort of like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry.
Right. Okay. Typical PlayStation fare, I would say.
Not as much recently, obviously, because there have been over-the-shoulder like cinematic story games, but this isn't a PlayStation. This isn't a PlayStation IP. It's just partly funded by Sony Studios.
Right.
So, next up, Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. The game's due to be released next week, but there is a demo available now on all the platforms that is coming out, which is PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC. So if you have had no experience of the Yakuza series, or Like a Dragon as it's now called, and you want to dip your toe in the waters, yeah, pun intended, because pirates, yeah, go and download the demo and give this a try. Very much the classic style of Yakuza games in terms of combat, rather than the turn-based RPG games. Next up, we had more DLC announcements for Dave the Diver, because the Like a Dragon stuff didn't stop there, because Ichiban is now coming to the game. And will be due to release at some point in April of 2025. Anyway, next up,
crazy.
We had Splitgate 2. So, if you remember what Splitgate was, the second one is coming. There is a PS5 alpha which begins on the 27th of February. It's a shooter game with portals. And it's due to come out PS5, PS4, Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC at some point, possibly this year. But yeah, go open alpha test. Next up, we had WWE 2K25 with a playable mode reveal trailer for what mode that's now called The Island, which is basically like my clubs, my whatever, like all that load of old crap. Typical 2K fare of charging you microtransactions for crap. Who cares? Who fricking cares? Next up, the only thing that I absolutely skipped to all hell throughout this whole entire thing, because I have no care whatsoever, Borderlands 4.
Okay. So, I'm a Borderlands fan, big time, but I have not cared since Borderlands 3.
Yep, well, look, they had both the Randys, so Randy Pitchford and another Randy that he's roped in to start this off, and I was like, Randy Pitchford, Borderlands 4, don't care, skip. Anyway, according to this, there was gameplay shown, and it's releasing on the 23rd of September for PS5, Series X and S, and PC. Don't care.
I might go check it out, but I'm gonna be very honest. I just have not, and I am a dedicated Borderlands 1 and 2 fan, and I just do not care after that. I like Tiny Tina's Magical Kingdom.
Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
That thing.
Yeah. Right. Next up, we've spoken about the game already today. Split Fiction. Sees us stepping into the shoes of two writers as they explore their own worlds. So it's a new co-op adventure due out on the 6th of March for PS5, Series X and S, and PC. So, yeah, cool. Next up, Directive 8020. Latest games from the makers of Until Dawn and The Quarry.
Ooh.
So that's super massive, I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
This time we've left Earth for the stars on what I'm sure will be a delightful journey. Oh no, there's a massive hole in the ship's hull.
Of course.
Sounds like some sort of alien is up to no good. So yeah, this is due out on October 2nd for PS5, Series X and S, and PC. This is actually set in the Dark Pictures universe, if you remember what Dark Pictures is. This did look interesting, actually. I did quite like Until Dawn. So if it's a similar vein to that, I might be interested in this. Right. Next up, Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. Sorry, this was the second thing I skipped because I don't care about Five Nights at Freddy's. I couldn't care less. Anyway, it's out on June 13th for PS5. Who cares?
My with Five Nights at Freddy's is I do kind of like the lore. I'm not gonna lie, but it's not really the game itself that I care about. The idea that the one sole creator, made this entire franchise, I'm just like, I don't know.
It blows my mind, but he's now no longer involved in that series at all anyway.
Well, yeah, but it's still cool though that
I don't disagree. Nana says Lost Soul Aside was started by one guy and Sony gave him a team to make the game, so there you go. That's similar thing.
Yeah.
Right, next up was a game called The Midnight Walk. It was a gameplay trailer, a game made from claymation. It looks very, very creepy. The quest is to return fire to this world, and there's a lot of monsters sharing your path. This looked not like my kind of thing, to be honest. It did look cool, very awesome aesthetic, very cool sort of like art style. Not sure that I'll play it, but it's due out for PC, PS5, and PSVR 2, 8th of May. Next up, what if I was to tell you that Konami made a new IP for the first time in years? You're frozen on my side. Oh. I hope you haven't died. Sorry, you froze on my side. I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah. I just said that I would be very interested to know what it is.
Okay. If I was to tell you that my initial reaction to this was, what the frick, they basically just ripped off Abe's Odyssey.
Oh. Is there a fart button?
No. So essentially it has a very, very similar premise to Abe's Odyssey. About an octopus and an escape from a food processing facility.
But wait, isn't that just Octodad? That's literally Octodad.
Yeah. Well, Octodad was about like blending into human society, wasn't it?
That is true. Yeah.
No,
but he still had to escape and stuff.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. This essentially is Abe's Odyssey. Weird thing gets turned into food, has to escape from the food processing area. It's called Darwin's Paradox.
Right.
And it's coming to PS5 later in 2025. And
I may have to look at that.
give it a look. I think the art style is nice.
Yeah.
But I have no interest in playing this whatsoever. Absolutely not. I looked at it and went, what the hell was this? But I was more surprised that Konami actually decided they wanted to do something. Next up, we have Warriors Abyss. So this is the latest game from Koei Tecmo. It is a take on the Warriors franchise. So, Dynasty Warriors, Hyrule Warriors, Fire Emblem Warriors.
Yeah.
But it's a roguelike, so I'm out straight away. But it was shadow dropped right there and then for PS5 and PS4. So it's now available. Next up, Capcom were back. Because Capcom have got a lot going on. If you hadn't already watched it, they basically gave more of a trailer for Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny Remastered, which is due out on the 23rd of May for PS4, Switch, PC, Xbox One. And then the same trailer for Onimusha Way of the Sword, which is the new Onimusha game, which is due out in 2026. Next up, I don't need to see any more of this. This trailer already leaked anyway. I didn't really give a crap. But it is a game that I'm somewhat excited for. So it did officially reveal the release date for said title. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which is due out on the 28th of August for PS5, Series X and S and PC. They did show something else in the trailer, which was also leaked, which is quite annoying. The return of the Snake versus Monkey mode. If you remember what that was.
Yeah.
This was where Snake goes through the jungle and tries to capture the apes from Ape Escape. However, they have confirmed that this mode will be available on PS5 and PC. So the Xbox Series X and S will not get this, but they will get something else. They teased an image of Bomberman.
A lot of people want that, so that's good.
Yeah, it was a bit strange, but anyway, there's apparently more coming, so who knows what they're going to do. Because
that is what she said.
Well, it has been teased as well. I say teased. It's been rumoured that this game is also coming to Switch 2. So it's whether or not they decide to replace the Snake versus Monkey with Snake versus Yoshi. It was something that was similar in the 3DS version of Snake Eater. So, next up was a game called Hell Is Us, a supernatural action-adventure game developed by Rogue Factor. On a quest to find his parents, Remy travels to Hedera, a closed state trapped in a civil war, only to discover that humans might not be his only enemy. So this was initially... they showed this during Gamescom 2024, so this was just a release date trailer for it. September 4th for PS5, Series X and PC. Next up, DLC for Lies of P called Overture. So this is a prequel DLC for Lies of P. Undertake the role of P again as in this action-adventure role-playing game inspired of Pinocchio. So this is due out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Mac and PC for summer 2025.
That game where the protagonist looks like Timothy Chalamet Ding Dong?
Timothy Chalamet, you mean?
That, whatever. And I saw him this week, and holy crap, he should go in Kiley's galleries of twinks. That's all I'm saying.
Probably will. Anyway. Moving on, next was Dreams of Another, which this was... I'm just going to pop the trailer for this because I forgot what this even was. So bear with. I believe I know what this game was. Oh, this is the one. Yeah, this is where you have to actually sort of destroy things to create. So you have a gun and you have to shoot things to destroy them, but it actually ends up creating stuff at the same time. It's a surrealist shooter game. It has a very interesting art style to it. I'd highly recommend giving the trailer a look. Probably not going to be my kind of game, but does look intriguing enough, let's say. So the tagline is no creation without destruction, because destruction is by no means an end, but a beginning of something beyond. Yeah, so kind of interesting. Due out in 2025 for PS5 and PSVR 2. I'd imagine this plays really interestingly on PSVR 2. I want to skip the next one because I want to come back to it in a bit. I say next up. The next after that was Stellar Blade and the Goddess of Victory Nikkei DLC.
I only watched someone play Stellar Blade, but I liked it. I thought it looked good and it played well.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people seem to really enjoy it, so it will be one of those games that eventually I might pick up and play when it goes cheap, but I'm not gonna be what most of the internet was all about with that game. I thought... Sorry, say that again.
I think her booty looked really nice, and that she should not have been slated for that because she had a nice booty.
Yeah, fine.
You have to stare at it.
but it also became the absolutely ridiculous like icon of a culture war, which was absolutely freaking ridiculous, and I can't be asked to deal with that.
No, we can't have beautiful women in our games anymore. Oh.
Yeah, I'm not getting involved in that discussion. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Next up, PlayStation Plus. So we got a look at what's coming to PlayStation Plus this month. 3 games as of the 18th of February were Jedi Survivor, Top Spin 2K25, and Lost Records Bloom and Rage. Lost Records Bloom and Rage is the new game from, I believe it's the original developers of Life is Strange, which was Don't Nod, rather than Deck 9. It's coming in episodes for the first episode is coming in the 18th of February, and the second is in April of 2025. The classic catalogue got a small mention. Patapon 3 is coming next week. There was also Armored Core Core Project Phantasma, and Armored Core Master of Arena. Next up, we had an announcement trailer for a game called Blueprints. It's an indie title arriving to the game catalogue in 2025. In this game, you'll find yourself exploring a mysterious manor where the rooms seem to move on their own, which is due out in spring of 2025 for PS5. And it will be in the game catalogue from day one, but it's also coming to PC as well. Next up was a game called Abiotic Factor, a 6-person survivor crafting game where you must create traps to protect the underground facility, which is now your home. Looked okay. Released in summer of 2025, PS5. It will be available in the game catalogue from day one as well. So, next up was a game called Tides of Annihilation. I think this might take your fancy, to be honest, and I'll explain why. So it started out with a look of destroyed London, not to be confused with London on a Friday night. That was from the article. With mentions of the Holy Grail, Tides of Annihilation takes inspiration from Arthurian legend. Though I do wonder if the main character being called Gwendolyn means that she's a reincarnation of Guinevere.
Oh, now that sounds very up my alley.
It is currently in development for PS5. No date given, unfortunately. So this is just an announcement trailer of it. I actually did think that this looked quite interesting, so even I might be somewhat intrigued by this. Next up was a game called Metal Eden from Recon Games. So this is the developer of a game called Ruiner. It's a cyberpunk shooter. You find yourself travelling to the centre of a planet, defeating enemies as you go to find a core. It's due out on the 6th of May for PS5, Series X and S, and PC. Next up, Mind's Eye. So, I've just got to read this. So, it looks like it's going to be a tale of why you really should put technology in your talking about putting technology in your head. Brilliant. Essentially tech which has the potential to take control of your body and maybe even mess with your memories. So this was a story and gameplay trailer. It's due out in the summer of 2025 for PS5, Series X and S, and PC. This did look somewhat intriguing again. And I say the final game because I wanted to come back to one. The actual final game that was shown on the showcase was a game called Saros. So I'll just read it as is from the Eurogame article. The sci-fi vibe continues with Saros, the next project from Housemarque, which is the developer of Returnal.
Yeah,
the sun is dying, and with its death, monsters rise. Saros will be arriving in 2026. It's going to be enhanced for PS5 and PS5 Pro. And it plays exactly like Returnal. So pretty typical Housemarque gameplay style. So yeah, not something that I will enjoy. It's roguelike, so not my kind of thing. Fine. I didn't think this looked interesting in any way, shape or form. No thank you.
My thing is, Returnal goes in that group of games that have those dumb, stupid names like Forspoken.
Yeah, and Saros also continues that.
Yeah.
Or Saros, however you pronounce it.
Whatever.
Anyway,
It doesn't matter.
there was a game that I skipped, and probably for good reason.
Okay.
Because it somewhat fits a slight narrative of what I want to go with in this particular showcase itself.
Okay.
So, do you happen to remember when The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered was brought out for the PS5?
Yes,
and they
I
stated that you could upgrade the copy of
Yes.
that game for
Yes.
£10, $10, or whatever.
Yes.
Even though the PS4 version was fully playable on the PS5 through backwards compatibility. Well, Sony have done it again. And have done it for a game that also came out in the same freaking year.
Oh, nice.
For a game that they have no faith in the studio because they have recently just cancelled one of their games and stated that the sequel was also cancelled, or the pitch for the sequel was cancelled, they've come out and stated that on April 25th, 2025, Days Gone is being remastered. Days Gone.
Thing. I guess that's a thing.
The game that recently came to PC and is probably cheaper on PC now than this will be.
Yeah.
And it's adding modes that basically are already available on the PC release, including a higher frame rate and more visual quality and another horde mode. And a speedrun mode. The speedrun mode is actually new. But for $10 or £10, you can upgrade your PS4 copy to a PS5 copy. Or you can go and spend 70 quid on a boxed version for a PS5 one. Or you can just go and buy it on PC via CD keys for probably a pittance. In fact, let's go and experiment, shall we? Let's find out how much the PC copy of Days Gone is costing on PC.
That's
$14.99.
Yeah, see?
$14.99. And it also comes with so the PC version comes with ultra wide support, 60 frames per, ultra high definition graphics, DLSS, all that sort of thing. All the things that you probably could get in the PS5 Pro enhanced version that you have to pay 800 quid for a console for. Are you starting to get the theme of where I'm going with this PlayStation State of Play was? Because those eagle-eyed or eagle-eared listeners might be able to understand why people are very pissed off with this showcase.
It would technically, there's nothing new. Not really. I mean, there's some new stuff, but
there was a lot of third-party stuff.
Yeah.
That was all basically geared towards other consoles, or is going to be released on other consoles. And the times that they did show anything that was somewhat exclusive to the PS5, it wasn't exactly their first-party studios, and was only funded by them to some degree, or it's a remaster of a game that came out less than 5 years ago, or a new IP that's coming out next frickin' year. Nothing on the slate in terms of a new IP from a first-party studio in 2025. Yeah. This showcase absolutely sucked donkey dick. I'm not bleeping that. I don't care. I want it to be known. I'm not a Nintendo fanboy. I'm not an Xbox fanboy. I'm not a Sony pony. I'm neither one of those things. I just want to see good games. And I went into this showcase wanting to see something good to justify the price of this £500 frickin' paperweight that is sitting next to my frickin' monitor. And there was nothing worthwhile to mean that I'm even going to boot that damn thing up, apart from to play third-party games this year. Because all I'm playing on it this year is probably likely to be Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. And that's only because I've got the rest of the games on PS5 as is anyway. This was a waste of frickin' time.
Well, I have to agree with what Nana says, which is because GTA have effed up everyone's schedule.
Yes, of course they have. They've got everyone absolutely running scared. But you would somewhat think that Sony, as a first-party developer, would at least put some smidgen of information out about numerous ones of the titles that they have out there. Ghost of Yotei, Wolverine, Spider-Man 3, or Venom, or whatever else that they've got cooked up across all of their studios. Intergalactic from Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
How many first-party studios have they been buying? No mention of Marathon from Bungie. No mention about...
I think that's been cancelled, actually.
No mention of Fair Games from there, which apparently is now being delayed to next year. Nothing. Any one of the first-party IPs that they actually have previously discussed, not a word. Nothing. And yet they can turn around and go, oh, we're charging you $10 to upgrade. Days Gone. What the frick was this?
Brent says my favorite part was Blueprint since it's coming to Game Pass day one and Abiotic Factor as well.
Exactly the point. Most of these games are coming out elsewhere anyway.
Yeah.
What's the point of owning a PS5? They're giving you no reason to even bother owning one.
Yeah.
So people, I've seen discourse online, people going, oh, I just like seeing games showcases. I just like seeing games coming out. Yes, I like seeing games coming out. But give me a reason to play my PS5. Not just go on my PC or play my Switch or my Xbox. Give me a reason to boot the damn thing up.
Thing though, and we've said this before on the PlayStation, the Xbox showcase or whatever. They aren't. None of them are.
No, they're not.
Are making us want to. I have not touched my Xbox in 6 months.
I only have because of Game Pass, and even then, I can just do it on PC already.
I was gonna say, like this week, I'll be putting Ultimate back on my PC after I clear it off because it's acting insane.
Look, I'm probably not even going to continue my Ultimate subscription. I might even just downgrade it to a PC one.
Anna, you haven't been watching long enough. Nana says, I've never seen Pete this mad. Oh, yes, he
I'm
has.
pissed because I want to play my PS5. I bought that damn thing for a reason.
I remember when you bought it, too.
Yeah, and I've got buyer's remorse the minute I bought it.
You did. That's not a joke or a...
Only thing I actually really enjoyed playing on it was frickin' Astrobot.
Yeah.
That was worthwhile. And Astro's Playroom. Astro Playroom was great, too. But literally, at the moment, I've bought an external SSD or an M2 storage for it. Yeah. And all it's got on it is Yakuza.
Yes.
It has become my dedicated Yakuza thing, console. And even then, I might be quite tempted to just buy them on PC so I can play them on deck.
Oh dear, my food is about to show up. That's insane. I didn't think that was
amazing. Well, we're done anyway. I've ranted long enough about this piece of crap, Sony's state of play, or Sony's state of shite.
Yes, that's what you should call the episode.
Probably will actually, or Sony's shite of play.
Yeah, and then just like asterisk out the I or whatever. But
no, I'm just gonna call it shite of play.
Okay, do that. But I do think we're gonna wrap it up because we have been.
In the immortal words of Matt Berry, it's a piece of shit. Anyway, close it out.
We need to get that sound bite.
We do.
Anyway, we thank you so much for joining us. That leaves one thing to do, which is Pete. Where else can they find you out there in the world? You
can find me freaking ranting on the internet like this on this show, but also you can also find me manning the manhandling, maybe, the Twitter and Blue Sky accounts, as well as not ranting on the Neville Watchers about certain things. Or maybe. Who knows?
Maybe. Or maybe.
We recently put out an episode on Snowpiercer, the Bong Joon-ho 2013 movie. And we are going to be covering Captain America Brave New World in the next coming weeks. So keep a lookout for that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a few other places, which I can't remember what they are.
Yes. But I do want to say, Nana says, may I promote a friend's charity link before we go? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Also, just before we go, because I have somewhat neglected this as well, there is a community post on YouTube that I will promote again. We currently have a competition going for 2 copies of Ironfall Invasion for Switch. So just post a comment on socials and all that on YouTube if you want to be entered in for a code. There is a European and a North American code available, and we'll probably end that on the 28th, 29th? No, before the show on the 2nd of March.
There you go. I have no idea because I don't do socials.
No, it's on YouTube. Community post.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't do,
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah, where can I find you anyway?
Oh, yeah, me. As these 3 tequilas / margaritas start to hit me. I can be found in many places. Maybe standing outside your window late at night watching you sleep.
Oh, so that's who keeps knocking on my window.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey, Pete! Hey! What you doing?
Can you not? Because the missus tells me to tell you to shut the frick up.
I was going to say, I'd be the worst stalker in the world. I'd be like, hi! Hi!
You're not supposed to see me, but I'm here! Hello!
I'm here! Look at me! I'm here! But yes, I can be found Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over at twitch.tv/KILEY_WILDE, where I do stream there those 3 dedicated days at 7 p.m. UK time. Sometimes I stream the other days, and when I do that, it's Hitman. Because I'm a Hitman streamer. See my Hitman in the back, my little baby boy back there.
My boldy man.
My boy.
Boldy man.
I love him. And one day, I'm going to finally finish up my dadgum deep dive into his lore. It just keeps growing. That's what she said. And
yeah, that was supposed to be out on...
yeah, it was supposed to be out last week on your birthday. And I added a whole nother section. And I was like, oh, crap. And then Nana says, all right, so my friend Kim is doing the Game Blast 24 for special effect during the 21st through 24th. So go support her, please.
Please do, yeah. Amazing.
Twitch.tv/later levels.
Yeah, special effects is great, so get involved if you can.
Yes.
Even if, I guess, even if you just show up and show your support that way, that would be great. Oh, yeah. Probably greatly appreciated as much as well.
I was going to
say,
if
you could donate, please donate.
Yeah, but even just showing up, I mean, because that's just like, grows the numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
It grows a brand.
Yeah, so twitch.tv/later levels, 21st to the 24th of February.
But I think that's going to do it for this portion of the show, because I'm not on any other socials. I mean, you can check me out over on YouTube and TikTok, please do, because my numbers have dipped. Although that's partly this week I haven't put any content up. But I will be putting content back up starting, this week. So if you can check those out, it would mean so much to me. It would literally mean the world to me. But that is going to do it for this portion of the show. So we will see you and talk to you next week. Bye!
Sony, you suck. Bye!
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Rapid Reviews Radio podcast. You can find the podcast on Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and various other podcast platforms. You can also find the video version by searching Rapid Reviews on YouTube and watch the podcast recording live on Twitch at twitch.tv/rapidreviews at 7:30 p.m. UK time every Sunday. Please make sure to follow the podcast on Twitter at RRRadiopod, and for all the latest reviews visit www.rapidreviewsuk.com or on Twitter at RapidReviewsUK.